All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Creed Bratton, an incredible story. Creed Bratton, of course, from the hit NBC show, The Office. I want to start where it started for you, Coors Gold, California.
Coarse Gold.
Coarse Gold.
A little interesting fact about that, Steve.
Okay.
There was a town above it, about 8 miles above it, called Fine Gold, and where the tiny little bits of gold nuggets would be,
Sure.
then the larger coarse ones would roll down the creek.
Wow.
That ended up as coarse gold.
And that was where it all started for
That's
Creed
where it all
Bratton.
started with me with a silver tone guitar.
Life goes on. Here's an interesting thing. You went to the College of the Sequoias.
Yeah.
And you went there on a swimming scholarship.
I went there on a swim scholarship. Well, I couldn't go to college because I was in a very poor family in coarse gold. We didn't have any money, you know.
Your best event in swimming?
Breaststroke.
I could have guessed that. Am I right?
It's true, but it's true.
Okay.
It's true. I know.
Sure.
I was not a really. Why am I smirking? It's so stupid.
Let's channel ahead now. Let's go a little bit further. The grassroots. This is not just a storyline in The Office.
No.
This really happened.
This really happened. Now, before the grassroots, I was with a group called the Young Californians, and we played all over Europe, down through North Africa, all the way across to Egypt, down in the Sudan. We ended up in Algeria.
Sure.
And then hitchhiked the rest of the way across to Egypt. Then we went over to Beirut. We worked a brothel. They're called the
Sure.
Kit Kat.
I've worked a couple.
And we sang for the Shah of Kuwait. This is all true story. Went to Cedars of Lebanon. We saw the people with the leather aprons with the honey on them, getting all the hashish, you know. My God, it was incredible. Then we got to Israel. We got to Israel, and we're singing it out. We're working this kibbutz and stuff, and I'm singing this outdoor concert with the boys. And this guy comes up, Warren Ettner.
Yeah.
I was getting to that, and Warren said, "Hey, you play pretty good guitar. You call me when you get back to the United States," and I did, and that's how the grassroots started in Israel. The grassroots.
That is
story.
unbelievable. So, well, you have to tell me this though. It seems a little roundabout. You have people here starting their music careers in Hollywood, Nashville. You chose the Middle East.
We chose the Middle East.
Was there a music scene there that we didn't know about at the time? What was going on in the Middle East?
Well, we were buskers. We were singing the streets and the tramways and the tubes and stuff like that.
You know, I have an interesting question. Creed, on The Office, he is known as the creepy old guy, affectionately.
He is affectionately known.
What is that audition process like? What is when you hear about that? You know, if your agent contacts you and says, "What? There's a creepy old guy." Is that what it was like?
Yes, because that's meat and potatoes for me. is the creepy old guy, you know, salivating,
Sure.
you know, a little bit of spittle going on, you know, itchy, stubble, you know, that thing. And I have it down to a fine art.
So, take us through the audition process.
Well, the audition process for The Office on NBC Thursday nights is for myself, Steve.
Yeah.
You asked this question, right?
Right. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Go there.
Yeah. I did some acting, and I worked on a show called The Bernie Mac Show.
Yes.
And one of our directors, Ken Quapis, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Thank you very much. And he shot our pilot for The Office. He was a big grassroots fan. He sent one of his people out, and they got some grassroots stuff, and I signed it all. And Ken Quapis is the greatest guy. He is the greatest guy, great director, super duper person, you know. Yeah. I heard about The Office, and I said, wow, I love the English version. I said, any way I could, he says, come by, and they had already cast everything. So he said, look, he said, I think you're quirky enough, and you're kind of a dirty old man. So, and I like the spittle, he said. It works for you. So he said, why don't you, we'll put a suit over you. Want you to sit over here as background. And I went, I had my gut feeling. My gut said, yes, I'll do it. And so what I did is we had computers there.
Sure.
So I wrote and wrote and wrote, and I watched what they did. I watched the talking heads. I wrote my own bit.
Really?
I wrote my own talking head. I went to my friend Joe Moore, who was the first AD from the Bernie Mac show. Okay. Who told me about that Quapis was doing The Office.
Oh, cool.
Then we shot this whole thing, and I ad-libbed, and then we cut it down. Without even worrying, without questioning myself before I lost my confidence, right? Yeah. I stacked them in and walked in. There's Greg Daniels, there's Ken Sabornak, there's Terry Weinberg, there's Ken Quapis, there's Bob L.P. from NBC. I said, there you go, check it out, see what you think. and boom, rest is history.